What's up, THP and YouTube? This is Shane, STC3248, and I just figured I would start a little video here, or make a little video here to show you a little bit of what I got going on, just as far as my aquaponics setup that I'm experimenting with. First off, I know I shouldn't use clear. These are exactly the same size tote. They both hold about 5 gallons of water, but they were out of the black, so I bought this one. I'm kind of glad I did for now. I know I might get some algae growth later, but I got a few test plants in here, and it lets me look through the side and see how, one, where the water level is, and two, how it is it's doing with this test plant and the root growth. You know, basically it didn't have any root growth, and now just in a few days it's starting to take off a little bit. So I've got lettuces basically going on in here, along with a few bok choy cabbage. And I have 2 different styles of siphon setup. One is this bell siphon, which is more of the traditional, just a piece of 2-inch with a piece of 3/4 inch, with this 1-inch adapter on the outside, which lets a little bit more volume start in there and helps the suction kick off for the vacuum. Pulls water up through these slits, sucks all the air out of the bell, and then creates the siphon. Drains down to where it gets back down to these slots again, which then allows air into the system, breaking the siphon. And then this one is a U siphon with a little modification of this extra tube on top. So basically what it does is the water fills up to the top of this U, or about midway this U, starts running across and down through here, creating the suction in the siphon. And then this extra piece, all it allows me to do is, if I adjust this 1/2-inch piece of pipe, wherever that level is down there, that's where the siphon will break. I've got a 400 gallon per hour pump, which is way overkill for this little system, but I got it for a good deal. And I installed on the back of each of these, we have a bulkhead fitting, which is an electrical conduit fitting in the 1/2-inch variety, and a small 1/2-inch valve assembly on both of them, both of the back of these tanks. Spilling into the tank there. The flow's a little bit fast. I've been adjusting it up and down, trying to figure out exactly how slow I can get it to fill. So you can see this one's about full now. Water's just starting to trickle out of the siphon right here, and into this is a 10-gallon fish tank. This is a 20-gallon fish tank. And you know, this one's starting to trickle as well, so we'll be able to see them both kick off here. Let me open this one up. Added some insulation to this one so it would keep the fish. I got a couple of aquarium heaters in here, keep the fish at a more consistent temperature. So this one's starting to pick up steam a little bit, and you'll be able to tell. You know, there it goes. So now the siphon's in full effect. You can see the level of the tank is now dropping. It will come all the way down to where the bottom of that 1/2-inch pipe is right there, and then that siphon will break this one to the slots, and it's now running full steam. And then it will automatically break the siphon and start the cycle all over again. It doesn't take very long for these to fill up and empty right now. I know I should probably run it a little bit slower, but with lettuce, the roots can stay a little wetter than most things without getting root rot, and the siphons are a little more consistent with the higher the flow rate. So this one I heard it break the siphon, I heard it gasp for air a little bit, so it will slow down, and then you'll hear it burp again right there, and then it'll die off. This one just burped, and now it is going to die off. You'll hear it burp one more time as well, which will finally kill the siphon, and then they will both quit running altogether. I'm going to put the lid back on this guy. Other things I got going on is I have these guys out. These are just jalapeno plants in this deep water culture system. I started with just standard newts. I've been adding a little bit of the fish water to these. They were having a hard time with temperatures because it's still been cold at night, high 40s, low 50s. So I added a pool tank heater to this, and when I did, the roots started to take off pretty good, and things are starting to look better on the new growth up top. And I ran out of tank heaters because I put 2 in that tank to keep the fish comfortable. So what I got going on here is I have some older compost down here that was already decomposing, and I'm just using the compost as a heater for this one. And amazingly, the temperature on this one stays almost consistent with this, which is about 10 degrees warmer than either of these buckets. This one is just water I let rest to go into the systems here when I add water. It's another beauty of the system. All I have to do is take a piece of pipe, slap it onto the end of this, and then just let the next cycle, if I wanted to swap out this 5 gallons of water, I just let that 5 gallons run into that bucket, and then I dump this 5 gallons in. It all equals out with these two U siphons. I had to put 2 in here because it was just having a hard time keeping up when I added the second bucket. But they do a pretty good job. Nothing's overflowed yet, and the 2 are consistently cycling. You see this one's already about half full, filling back up to the top. It'll come back down. This lettuce is doing wonderful. This lettuce was started at the same time. This was grown in soil. This was started in hydro, indoors, in soil, outdoors. We can see what the difference is there. Pretty substantial. I'm this first year of messing with hydroponics, and I'm already kind of a big fan. In here you see what some of my worker bees. There's a big fat goldfish. She's a fantail, and then we've got some others in there. Can't remember what they're called. One of you guys will have to tell me. There's a couple back there too. Calico kind of colored. These are a little bit more shy, more aggressive. They're fun to watch too. So I mean, that's a bonus to this, is they like cruising back and forth across the air bubbles and porpoising to the surface and having fun. So if you guys got any questions or comments, please leave them below. I appreciate any feedback whatsoever. If you have oh, here we go again, recycling again. If you have any positive or negative feedback with my system specifically, because I am new to this, please don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know what you think, unless it's really nasty, and then I don't want to hear it, but I'll read it anyway and then probably just ignore it. So have a nice day. See you guys on THP and on YouTube, and happy surfing.